First off, before I even start this episode, I just have to say thank you. Thank you to all of you that have been listening to my podcast so far. I know the first few episodes may have been a little bit rocky while I'm trying to figure out sound and lighting and issues in my office here, but I am continually learning on this new adventure. And though I am not perfect at it, I am striving to make things better and to help encourage and give confidence on every episode that I'm able to send out. Which is my somewhat segue here into the topic for today, which is perfection. Is it even attainable? Well, no, probably not, considering there is only one that has ever been perfect. However, our society continually pushes on us hard on how we should look and how we should act, and making us feel like we should be striving for that perfection. And then we feel like an absolute utter failure when it doesn't work out as expected. I mean, you can't go through your Instagram without seeing something about how you should be improving yourself or doing things differently or whatever the case is. Right now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but my feed has been like bombarded with this thing called ReduSculpt. Apparently it thinks I need a tummy tuck, which is, hey, thanks for that encouragement. There you go, making me feel like a failure. And I don't know if someone else has tried it and it works, that's awesome. Give me some feedback on it. I'd love to actually hear more about it because it looks very interesting. But anyways, that's the whole point though, is that you're getting constantly fed all of this stuff about how you should do this to be perfect. You should act this way. So many different things, whatever the case is. And when we are work so hard to try to achieve that perfection that society deems that we need to have, and we don't reach it, you can feel completely inadequate and just bummed out. I personally deal with this feeling a lot. I constantly am putting really high expectations on myself, and I feel very much like a failure when it doesn't achieve what I want, and it gets very, very frustrating. And I was thinking about this, and I remember that I had read this book a while back by Elizabeth Hagen, and it's called Confidence Now Is Your Time. And in it, she has this like pretty remarkable quote, actually, by Michael J. Fox that says, "I am careful not to confuse excellence with perfection. Excellence I can strive for. Perfection is God's business." That's just awesome. I love that quote because it's an amazing reminder. And then she has this statement afterwards that is also very near and dear to me as a writer. And it says, "I can't write a perfect book, but I can write an excellent book." I have been to many events, and many times people have asked me like, "Hey, I want to be able to write a book, but I just don't think that I ever could. I don't think it would ever turn out well. I think it would just, not be successful." And I said, here's the deal. I've told people this many times. You can't aim for perfection because the book will never be perfect. Not in your eyes, even not in other people's eyes sometimes, but that's okay. But for you specifically, if you're always aiming for perfection when writing a book, there will continually be things that need to be tweaked and changed. And the longer you look at it, the more things you'll find that just like, no, I don't like this, or no, that, because you're so close to it. I've dealt with that myself where I come to a point where I have to like, okay, this book is excellent. I have my beta readers read it and they love it. And I said, I cannot change this anymore because otherwise I will continually be striving for that perfection that will never be attainable. So we need to strive not for perfection, but for excellence. Excellence in all God has called me to be, all God has called you to be. Driving for perfection will leave you empty, dissatisfied, and always feeling like you will never ever measure up. But excellence can bring you to being the best that God has called you to be, and you can be satisfied in that. I'm going to read Colossians 3:17. Hopefully I still have it up here. Yep. Okay. It says, this is in the Message version. It says, "Let every detail in your lives, words, actions, whatever, be done in the name of the Master Jesus, thanking God the Father every step of the way." In the New King James Version, I have both versions right here. It says, whatever you do in word or deed, same type of thing, do all in the name of Lord Jesus, giving thanks. So in anything you do, in everything you do it as if you were doing it unto the Lord. Do everything with the spirit of excellence. That's what we're called to do. I just say too, remember who you are. You aren't perfect. And that's okay, because you belong to a perfect God that has created you for an amazing purpose. Look in the mirror and see yourself for the miracle that you are, because you are truly a miracle. And there is no one else like you. No one else is called to do what you are to do. You don't need perfection to be satisfied in this life. You really don't. You just need to do everything with a spirit of excellence and knowing that you're doing your best and doing it as unto the Lord. I'm going to finish with this unknown quote that says, "No one is perfect. That's why pencils have erasers." All right, you guys, have a wonderful day. Have a day that is filled with Godfidence. See you next time.